So Daniel and I at OneGraph have been working on a medium-like blog experience based entirely on GitHub issues, which is really cool because it's all open source. It's based off of a very familiar UI that developers are used to. And importantly, you have great API access to all of your content, including comments and whatnot. And as I said, it's entirely based off of GitHub issues. You can see here that any issue with publish will show up on sa.dev under your username.sa.dev. And it is, again, open source, so you can actually deploy this on your own Vercel instance if you don't want to have the sa.dev TLD here. But perhaps for me, the coolest thing is because this is based off of GitHub issues, it means we can do almost everything entirely from inside of Emacs using Magit and Magit Forge. So I'm quickly going to run through this blog post and actually create a new post on sa.dev entirely from inside of Emacs from scratch. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and clone this repository. And once I've cloned it up, I'm going to go ahead and open up Emacs. Now, I've already configured Spacemacs with Magit and Magit Forge, so my auth is set up and whatnot. But other than that, this is an entirely new repository. So let's go ahead and add this repository to our Forge list. I'll just run Forge add repository. And you can see down there at the bottom that URL looks correct. And I'll just pull all the topics. And with that done, I can go ahead and run Forge list issues. And here we go. I already have a list of all of the posts that are up on sa.dev, and I can view them, and I have this kind of great high fidelity experience, even inside of Emacs. You can see that it pops up with images and comments and everything, just as we really would want it to. But in this case, I want to go ahead and create a new post. So let's go ahead and run the forge create issue command. And you can see here that it opens up with the new blog post template already. So we should be good to go to just go ahead and fill in our content. And you can see here that it has a publish label by default. So as soon as I commit this, this is actually going to be live on the internet. So I'll go ahead and run Control-C, Control-C to just commit this like a normal git commit. If I update this, you can see that it's been pushed already. And if I go ahead and run forge pull, so that it updates everything from the remote repository, you can see here that there's already a comment saying that this is live and ready for us to visit. So I'll go ahead and browse URL here. And this pops up in exactly how we'd expect it to be. So you can see this is already up and running. It's live. Go ahead and give it a couple of reactions. And now let's go ahead and leave a comment as well. So you can see I can go ahead and leave here with some nice emoji and whatnot. And if we go back to our original view here, we can see that this is, again, just a normal issue with reactions and comments and everything on the original repository. But back in Emacs, once again, we can just go ahead and do forge pull, and we can see all the comments be streamed in here. So in nice high fidelity, we can see emojis, everything comes through exactly as we want them to. And likewise, we can go ahead and comment on things inside of Emacs. So if we go ahead and just run the forge create post command on an issue that we're viewing, you can see that I can reply here. And once I've written my comments, I can commit this just like before. That'll go ahead and take care of pushing that up to GitHub. You can see that it shows up inside of my Emacs buffer here. And similarly on our original post page, if I go ahead and refresh, you can see this pulls in just perfectly. So again, comments, reactions all work exactly as we'd expect them to. And they pop over here almost immediately. So that's a whirlwind view of doing basically a full blog flow inside of Emacs that is published instantaneously to the world. Again, if you just go to sa.dev, you can use this by default just by opening an issue here, or you can go ahead and deploy your own just by clicking on the Vercel button and you'll be good to go.